Welcome back to the series where we change the element of characters from Genshin Impact. The way it works is we have two wheels, one with all the characters and one with all the elements. We spin the first wheel, get a character, spin the second wheel, get an element, then combine those two together and see what it looks like. Let's get started. Welcome back to the fourth part of recoloring Genshin Impact characters into different elements. I don't know what we're gonna get. Obviously the wheel is choosing for me, so let's see what it is. It is going to be Xiao. Alright, let's hope we can actually get a decent element for this one. Now this wheel has still yet to pick Animo, Hydro, or Geo, but since Xiao is already Animo, we can't get that, but we can hope for one of those other two, and it's actually Geo. Alright, let's get right into this then. I feel like a broken record saying this every single time, but that one really did feel like it took forever. I think it was about 3.5 to 4 hours, but that's because there were just so many details, like what was I supposed to do? And now we have Yanfei, so that shouldn't be too bad. I would love to get Hydro here, we haven't had it yet, plus making a blue theme for Yanfei just sounds really appealing. But of course the wheel wants Electro yet again. When it comes to the colors that I chose for Xiao, it's a mixture of a couple different reasons. I went with some deep reds, and I was going to do that for the polearm as well, but that kind of blended in too much if I did that, so I went for a darker gray / black for that. The reason that I chose the deep reds is because originally when miHoYo was designing this character, they were going to use more reds since that kind of reflects his inner demons, but they instead went with green because he's an animo-based character, and green is the complementary color to red. So I decided to use some of those reds as well as the typical yellow, golds, and browns that you'd see with a lot of the Geo-based characters. When it comes to Yanfei, it was a lot easier, and I attribute that to the fact that she is not really wearing that much, so there wasn't as much for me to recolor. Now the colors that I did choose are not what I was originally going to do. I was just kind of messing around and I ended up stumbling upon this black color scheme, and I really liked how it looked, so I went with it. I then wanted to add in another accent color, so I picked a light blue. I don't know, I kind of wanted to do orange as well, but I settled on the blue because if you want to go into what the colors represent, blue apparently is the color that represents intelligence, so I went with that. And if you look at the academic colors, because apparently that's a thing, purple is actually the color that represents law in academic settings. So I mean, it's perfect, it's intellectual, it's law, it's Yanfei. For Yanfei's eyes, I went with a whitish with a tint of of blue, and this was just because I was thinking of a character from Marvel's X-Men who controls the weather. I think their name is Storm, but I could be completely wrong on that, so I apologize. And then also I added some electricity around the staff thing that she's holding. It's definitely not an actual staff, but the weight, basically. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how these two characters turned out. Let me know down in the comments which of these two you like more and why. And as always, let me know if you want me to keep continuing this series, because if you do, then I will.